Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty on lot 356 in Ashton Woods. And this one's a winner. Really unique lot. And kind of where I'm standing at here. So you might see my truck right up through there, and you'll see this little road that I'm standing on. Well, the subdivision road, South Branch Mountain Road, you can see the yellow guide wire for the electric pole right there. But it borders South Branch Mountain Road across the upper side up there. And on the lower side here, this little road runs all the whole entire length of the property. And just to this side of this little road is the property line. And if you see that little yellow placard right there, that's the boundary with Nathaniel Mountain Wildlife Management Area, which is 10,000 acres of public land. So this property is surrounded on two sides by Nathaniel Mountain Wildlife Management Area. And this property is like a triangle. So it borders the subdivision road on one side and on two sides by the state ground. And there's multiple building sites across the top here. But I would say just kind of, as you go out the subdivision road this way, there's kind of like an upper level and a lower level to this lot. So it's real flat, and then it just kind of drops off a little bit, and then it planes out again. I mean, the lot's 100% usable, but if you stay on that upper level, you're kind of looking, the view's going to be kind of like southeast, which is this direction. So the lot lays so good and doesn't drop off hardly at all that you're not going to get like a mega view like you would be if you were on the other side of the road here. But again, those lots across the road are super, super steep. But you are going to get a nice mountain view. But what is so unique about this one is you're elevated at 3,000 feet here, which is about as high as elevation as you get around here. And it's flat. And even though Nathaniel Mountain's 10,000 acres of public hunting land, this is far, far away from any public access. So you pretty much got the whole top of the mountain here to yourself. And there's probably about 500 acres of somewhat almost perfectly level ground up here on the top of Nathaniel, on top of South Branch Mountain here. So it's really easy to hunt. And just kind of as you can see tracks in the snow here and stuff, but there's bobcat tracks everywhere. There's a lot of bobcat up here, bear, deer, anything you want to hunt is here. And you got built-in ATV trail right here with this road. Same with the power line on the other side, and I'll take a video there as well. But this is a really nice lot, and I get calls all the time from people that say, hey, I'd like to have a lot bordering like the National Forest or public ground or whatever. And that's just easier said than done. But right here it is. So check out my other videos on this one, and you better get here fast. Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. This will be video number 2 on lot 356 at Ashton Woods. And what I want to illustrate here is I'm all the way over at the right-hand boundary of the property, which is the power line here. And just a couple of things I want to point out here. So I'm standing on South Branch Mountain Road right now. And if you'll notice, there are 2 sets of towers there. So there was a power line here originally, which is the one to the right. And then, 15 years ago or so, they came in and put this other power line in to the left, adjacent to the one that was existing. So as you're looking at the power line here, if you look at the tower that you can see there to the right of that, there's like a little strip of trees. That would be about the boundary edge of this lot. So just about the dead center here in between of the 2 power lines is where the property line is for this property. And then, from the center, right in between the 2 power lines to the right, that's all Nathaniel Mountain Wildlife Management Area. So that's all the state ground that way. And then obviously below the property on that side is the state ground also. And there's about a little over 1,000 feet in the power line here. So when you see that first tower out there, it's not quite that far, but you'll see how there's a little dip in front of that tower, and that's about where this property line stops, you know, looking down the power line this way. But this is a good illustration, looking here, how flat it is across the top of this mountain. So there are hundreds and hundreds of acres up here on top of the mountain here that is owned by the state of West Virginia that couldn't be easier hunting. It's easy to get around up here and walk. You're not going to kill yourself walking over treacherous terrain to hunt or drag a deer out, but I mean, you could sit right here and hunt this power line. So it's fantastic. You can ride your ATV on the power line on your own property. But like I said, we're at the far right-hand edge of the property, so you have Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. This will be video number 3 for lot 356 Ashton Woods, because my phone cut off at the end of video number 2. But just to wrap things up here on this end of the property, so the power line is at the far right-hand side of the property. So I think this lot has, it's well over 1,000 feet of road frontage, maybe closer to 2,000 going that direction. So you have multiple building sites in that direction where you never see the power line, hear the power line. The power line doesn't really interfere with this lot whatsoever. But the one benefit that you do get, when they claimed this property for easement, when the power company did, they obviously had to purchase the easement off the landowner, but they also gave a credit of 12,000 kilowatt hours per year of free electricity. So, and that runs through the power company. I'll have those documents on the website. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, somewhat of a payment for them claiming this property for the power line easement. They gave those owners and their subsequent, you know, their successors, which would be whoever bought this lot, 12,000 kilowatt hours of free electricity a year. And I don't really know how to calculate that, but I think it ends up being maybe like $100 a month or something like that, if you want to check the math on how that works out. But regardless, it's just kind of like an added benefit. And like I said, the power line doesn't really affect this lot whatsoever, other than give you a good place to do some long range shooting, ATV riding, and hunting. So I'll wrap up this video and come check it out. It's going to go fast.